I have the Pixie Disc applicator here, and I've given it a whirl. Plus, I've done a lot of demos to see how this thing works. I'm going to talk about it in today's new video. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Kim Rosas, and I'm a reusable period products expert. Here at Period Nirvana, you're going to see lots of videos on how to use and succeed with menstrual cups and discs. And on that topic, if you're new to menstrual cups and discs, make sure you check out the Period Nirvana Quiz. You can get either a cup or disc as your result, and it's tailored to your body and your needs. There are 28 unique outcomes, so there's something out there for every single anatomy. And once you're ready to make that purchase, visit our store, Period.Shop, which is a curated selection of the best menstrual cup and disc items in the US. By shopping at Period.Shop, you support Period Nirvana's educational efforts, so thank you. It's been a while since a video, and I don't really have a good excuse for that, except just personal stuff. I even thought I was going to get to this video sooner, and then things happened in early November and was not really in the mood. But lots been going on behind the scenes here at Period Nirvana. Even if we're not making new content, there's always stuff going on, especially because we have a store in the works. And I'm going to be honest with you, we thought the store would be open by now, and things have not gone our way when it comes to construction timelines and permits. And we are, as of today, still waiting on our permit. And our store is going to be a period care boutique. Not just reusables in this case. We're going to sell a lot of different menstrual products. But that's going to be an amazing experience in person once it's available. And I can't wait. And everything is out of my control. And so I'm just taking it one little step at a time and, pun intended, going with the flow. But as soon as I have an opening date for Period Nirvana in Asheville, I will let you know here on YouTube. And now to the topic at hand, the Pixie menstrual disc applicator. Now let's go and set the scene for this product and where it stands in the current lineup of insertion aids. We'll start first with a reusable tampon applicator, and so you put the tampon in and you can reuse this. And you have this funky thing, which is a menstrual cup applicator. It's terrible. This thing, which is a universal menstrual cup applicator. Another universal menstrual cup applicator is this one. It's like a tube in a tube. And then Pixie actually created their own menstrual cup applicator, which is extremely similar to this terrible one, and it's really not much better. So we can't go without mentioning the Sunny Cup. Again, for a menstrual cup, this does not fit a disc. Now we are to the Pixie disc applicator. Pixie is not the first brand to consider a menstrual disc applicator. There was a Kickstarter last year for a brand called Philo. They created their own menstrual disc applicator that comes with a menstrual disc. And that's probably what held them up, similar to Sunny Cup, because Sunny Cup has a menstrual cup as well. There's a lot of FDA red tape. And that's why, as far as I know, Pixie beat Philo to the punch. Maybe they were working on it before Philo, I don't know. But either way, it did come out first as a purchasable product. There is another menstrual disc applicator. I don't have it with me because it's not sold in the US, but you can see a picture of it here. It's actually very, very similar to the Cup Up in that it's just an open tube and you put a menstrual disc in there. That actually looks pretty promising, but I can't tell you how it works. I'm gonna try to get my hands on one, ship it to a friend who lives in Europe, and then I'll let you know when I have it. I lost the packaging for this, so here is the packaging. That's what it looks like. I can't find it. You have a case that fits on snugly here, has a little handle. You want to walk around like this. And there is a hole here because when you think about all the pieces and the parts and washing, you want a hole so that things don't trap moisture and get moldy and mildewy. This comes off and you still have two more pieces. You have the pusher, that is what is pushing the menstrual disc through the applicator, and you have the applicator barrel itself. This is exactly the same as a tampon applicator, except this comes fully apart because you have to load in your menstrual disc into the barrel and then put it back together. Is this a small thing? It is not. This is either a light or a regular tampon applicator, and this is the Pixie disc applicator. No reusable product applicator is going to be small. Even the tampon applicator that's reusable is larger than a regular tampon applicator. Is it doable though? Absolutely. Maybe not for everybody, but as someone who has experience, I'm pushing 40 here. I've had 2 kids. I've tried a lot of menstrual cups. I've lived a life. This does not faze me personally. However, I can see how it would be very intimidating. It does look a little bit scary, like it has teeth. It is soft. It is fused with a piece of plastic here. That is hard plastic. And this here becomes softer. So that is a nice feat that they pulled off. There's a catch here that keeps it from coming off once you are on that catch. One thing you'll notice about the Pixie Menstrual Disc Applicator is that it is not round, it is a triangular shape. Look at your instructions or watch my video because I just want the triangle to point up. You want to put it upside down with the triangle point down. In fact, maybe a good way for me to remember and for you to remember is that if you think about, you know, your crotch, your vulva area, just the typical like little cutesy image of a vulva, it is a V. It should align with your vulva with the point facing down. That's a note to myself as well. And then the rim part will be facing up. A triangle versus a round hole would prevent the disc from possibly flipping while you're pushing it through the barrel. And then it would be inserted upside down. So it does reduce the margin of error as you are inserting it. So again, nice touch. A quick intro to menstrual discs. Typically, a menstrual disc is going to be inserted manually by your hands. It is a simple round disc. Unlike menstrual cups, they do not create a seal. And they sit in a different part of the body, which makes it actually more viable for inserting with a menstrual disc applicator than what the process is for inserting a menstrual cup through a menstrual cup applicator. So you fold them in half, very easy to do, and then you push it towards your back because you want it to go behind the cervix. And then you take a finger or a thumb and you push the front rim up, and the disc tucks behind your pubic bone. It's not sealed and held in place by suction and muscle tone. It's held in place by the pubic bone. So you can already kind of see if you were pushing this inside with an applicator, you don't have to worry about a seal. When you put a menstrual cup in with an applicator, there's a chance that it doesn't open and you won't feel it. But this does not seal. It goes into a wider part of the body, the vaginal fornix. So as long as you get it nestled into that vaginal fornix and it's in the right position and it's tucked high enough in your body, it should theoretically not leak and work. If you insert a menstrual disc, it has to come out. If you need an applicator to insert something, you need to make sure you can still remove the product. So you would still have to hook the rim with a finger and pull it down out of your body and dump it. So now let's do that whole process with a menstrual disc applicator. You do want to wash your menstrual disc applicator. It is not to be steamed. They suggest loads and loads and loads of lubricant, and you put that lubricant into the barrel and get the whole thing lubricated. By the end of this video, I will probably have lubricant all over me. Going back to our memorable V thing, the V points down, the tops of the rim are going to face the flat side up of the applicator, and then you're going to go ahead and give this a fold and insert it into the barrel. See, this one is not going to go in. So you can put it in until it clicks if you want or not, but this one's going to stick out a little bit. When you're inserting, you want to make sure the open part is facing towards you and you are pointing this towards your back. This is where it's going to be up to you how far you put this in. I did appreciate on the Sunny Cup applicator, they gave you this visual aid to say this is about how far you'll want to put that inside of you. You don't have to put the entire barrel inside of you. The same goes for the Pixie disc applicator. You don't need to put the entire barrel. It's actually much longer than a menstrual cup applicator as well. You just have to experiment with what works for you. Angling it towards the back. You have a plunger. You have this part that you're supposed to hold on to. There's not much to hold on to. I'm just going to be honest. And then you push the barrel until everything comes out and you remove it. In the model, this clicks right into place behind the pubic bone and it has completely opened. Oh, yep, I'm getting lubricant all over my pants. All right, there we go. Functionally, the menstrual disc applicator works. It does exactly what you expect it to do. You put it in, the barrel pushes it through, it goes in the body. We'll talk about how it works with other menstrual disc models in a later segment. As an advocate and an educator, touch is still the most important part of inserting menstrual cups and discs. I wish that weren't the case, but it is so important to know the placement and to know how deep you've inserted something, to know that it is tucked behind your pubic bone, to know that it's not going to come out of place, to know in the case of menstrual cups that it's sealed. Those are so important when you're inserting it. When you have a disability or your body size is an issue and so an applicator can help you insert something, that's what those products are for. And I'm glad that this product works because it actually does work. An applicator can also just be a stepping stone to help you get used to using a product, and eventually you just start using your hands to insert it. If you can insert things manually most of the time, that's definitely going to help you when you leave the house if you have to empty and remove your menstrual disc in public. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to use the applicator, but it certainly makes your life a lot more complicated with having to put the pieces together to store it to wash later or to wash it in the stall. You could pack some menstrual cup wipes and maybe wipe it down. That would be easier. Things to think about when you're using this in your own body with any menstrual disc: how far to insert it, and if you're inserting it too far or not far enough. Because if the experience you're looking for is not to insert any hands into your body to check on the disc or to push the disc in, then you might find it could leak if you're not putting it in high enough that it tucks behind the pubic bone. In some of my own personal experiences and also with different models, as I've been playing around with the disc applicator, it doesn't always push it high enough to where it tucks behind the pubic bone. As a new user, you might still want to just take a clean finger and push the front rim up to make sure it's secure. When I used it, I did not do that because my aim was to see if I could just push it in and make it like really, really easy and go. For most of my test runs using the menstrual disc applicator, I used Hello Disc because it's the disc that works best for me. So if it can insert the menstrual disc that works for me and it doesn't leak, then I know that it's working well. The issue with Hello Disc specifically and the menstrual disc applicator is that it has a thick rim. Yes, you can make it work, and it did work, but you need a lot of lubricant for it to go through the barrel with any amount of smoothness. I used it with the disc in the flipped position, which is how I insert it manually as well. And then because I was using a thicker disc that is harder to push through the barrel, this not having any extended flange became an issue. I was basically using the sides of my nails to do this, to push with two hands because I couldn't do it with one. Like this. And it worked. So I took out the Hello Disc. All of that was mostly okay. I did have some residual light leaks. Like every time I wiped, there was a leak, which is really not the case for me usually with Hello Disc when I put it in my hand. So I think it was like, let's say a 95%. I was wearing period underwear, so all that was fine. In a later experience, I decided to try a different menstrual disc, Cora Perfect Fit disc. I'm gonna try a different disc that I like. And make sure this is in the right facing up area. And I'm just gonna go and see what works. Maybe I try both hands. Oh, that's working. So weird because I have no idea what's going on in there. Just shoving it in. Okay. We'll see. And again, the insertion and everything went pretty well. Cleaning can be more of the annoying part of using an applicator, cup or disc. You've got multiple pieces you need to clean. There is some washing to be done. Not my favorite part. You may have to use this in public if you need it, and then you have the issue of taking it with you, maybe washing it at home, but at least it has a case. So when I used the Cora disc with it, my experience was fine until I went to remove the disc. Can't reach it. I'm pushing.
Don't touch this.
Oh my God. The danger that I ran into with a menstrual disc applicator is that it pushed it much higher than what I would have manually felt comfortable doing. So touch is such an important part of using menstrual cups and discs. That's one reason why, as effective as this menstrual disc applicator was, I'm still always going to encourage people to use their hands to insert the product if they can, because you have a spatial awareness of where you're putting the disc. If it's going to be out of reach for you, you know not to push it any higher. If you can't reach something like a menstrual disc that goes really, really high, that can be scary. And I got overheated, a little stressed out in the shower, so I got out, put a towel down on my closet floor, laid on my towel, still couldn't reach it, got on all fours, and eventually got it. I managed to get it out on the floor of my closet. First for me. I don't know if it was the fact that the applicator
pushed the Cora disc higher than I would have put it, or if it was just like a freak occurrence that could have happened if I had manually inserted it. I haven't used a Cora disc in a long time. As most of you have realized, I'm pretty Hello Disc loyal. And after that experience, that really cemented my feelings about having a loop for removal. Like, my rational, logical brain knew that I would get it out eventually, but there was a moment like I was really thinking I might have to have some assistance from my husband. So I am going to try the Applicator again, but I'm going back to my Hello Disc.
My caution to anyone thinking about using a menstrual disc applicator: if you have a higher cervix, that could be a good thing, but you want to make sure you pair your menstrual disc applicator with something that has a removal string. The Lumma disc brand has the string, which is what Pixie disc's own disc was very inspired by the Lumma, because they have the same string, but they made an oval disc instead of a round disc. Or the Hello disc, which has the longer tab if you wear it dropped. But you want to make sure you have a way to grasp and remove the product that you're inserting. And no one really wants to have to call a friend or their partner or their husband to reach in there and grab it for them. The Pixie disc applicator was meant to be universal and work with different brands. I don't think that there's a brand that I've yet put inside of it that didn't technically work, but some of course go through it easier than others. Starting with a disposable disc, this does fit into the applicator and it comes out. The flex disc, which has this point for a narrow insertion, it works really great in the Pixie disc applicator. What does happen when you have these longer discs is that there's nothing to keep the barrel in place. It will slip out. It has to go into a certain point before it clicks into place, which that's how far it has to go. And if it is a one size or a large disc, quite a bit of it's going to be hanging out before you get to that point. There's nothing that says you can't start at that point, because this is how you would be normally inserting it manually anyway. It's just with the disc going in first into your body. And from personal experience, that did not cause any discomfort. And then for the flex disc, quick demo. Boom. This is a Ziggy disc, size B. Cora soft fit. Even though it is a little bit smaller than Nixit and flex disc, it still sticks out a little bit when you get to the clicking in point of this applicator. That's not a huge deal. I did already show you the Nixit, but we'll add that to our little list. And it's bigger, so it sticks out. This is a Zomi disc out of Australia. It actually works really great in the Pixie disc applicator, and it has a little loop for removal. So when it clicks, that's how much sticks out. And then if you're using something like Lumma disc that has a tail, the Pixie disc has a tail, the design of the barrel has a hole in it so that you can insert that little tail. So it will also definitely still work. The Lumma disc short actually fits entirely inside the barrel without anything sticking out, even with it securely clicked. And here is the Diva disc that has the leak-proof shield, and it does fit, and it actually works really well because it's a softer firmness disc, so it's easy to fold into it. If you were to insert at the click point, it has a little bit sticking out. So, Hello disc, it does fit. You do want to lubricate the barrel really well for this to work as effortlessly as possible, but like as you insert Hello disc, it takes more manual force even with lubricant. If the goal is, you have a hand dexterity issue, Hello disc might not be the best thing for you to use with this applicator. You might want a different brand of disc. So yeah. And then from it clicked into place, that's how much is sticking out. And then if you really lubricate it, it pushes through the barrel easily once you have the pusher in. But getting it into the barrel is the challenging part of using a Hello disc with the Pixie disc applicator. I also have a new disc that I haven't reviewed here on the channel yet. This is the Halo Pod, very flimsy rim, and the rim has plastic. It's not all silicone. And the texture of this, you can actually hear it as it goes through the barrel of this, which if you don't have lubricant, it literally won't go through the barrel at all. This one has like a very resistant texture that actually won't go through it unless you really lube it up. But it's very thin, so it certainly fits. And that was all of the discs that I brought sitting here. That was just a small number of discs. We obviously have more discs available. Now this thing is covered in lube, so I will have to wash it. Once you've washed it, you want to dry it out. A spot is a perfect place to lay your parts to dry in between use. So we know the Pixie disc applicator functionally works pretty well. It works with most every single disc, and it works with it whether it fits into the barrel or it extends past the barrel. You know, some of the challenges that you might be facing if you're already challenged to insert a menstrual disc manually with like grip and dexterity and hand strength issues, you want to look for a disc that works super well inside the barrel. So some discs are going to work better than others, and Nixit works beautifully. Diva disc, Cora soft fit works better than perfect fit. I haven't tried Pixie disc. I'm going to assume it works as good as these other ones in there. Flex disc, reusable. Lumma works great in there. All of these need some level of lubricant, but they glide through into the barrel very easily. Some of the thicker rimmed Cora perfect fit was a little bit more of a struggle. And then Hello disc, because of the thicker rim, again, a little bit more of a struggle to put through the barrel. If your issue is hand strength and dexterity, those would probably not be a good choice to use with this applicator. When I did have something that needed more pushing, I ended up having to use two hands, which again, not ideal. It's certainly better if you can click the barrel into place, even if the disc is sticking out, so that you can do a one-handed experience. But if there's something that really needs pushing, there's nothing to grip. And that was also the case with the Sunny Cup applicator. I struggled with that, not having something to grip. This thing, you've got all of the leverage you need here, but this as a product was not great. For Period.Shop, in case you're wondering why I'm not selling this, or at least as far as this moment as of publishing this video, I'm not selling this product or any Pixie products. One of the big reasons I think is no longer an issue. So I'll just leave it at that. But the other issue for me as a brand owner is that they're really an Amazon-centric brand, and as a small curated boutique, we just don't have success selling anything that is only available on Amazon, or like 99% or 95% available on Amazon. If we stock it, we just don't sell that many. People don't find it from us. Amazon just completely overshadows any of our listings or SEO. You know, search results, organic, whatever. It just doesn't work for us. So that's really kind of where I stand on that. So I'm not opposed to selling it because at least in this case, the product works. And my goal as an educator and a promoter of these products, outside of being a retailer, the retail store is what supports my education and advocacy work. That's how I monetize my expertise, by selling things. But I can still talk about things that I don't sell. And so that was important to me, to be able to review this product and let you know that I don't sell it, and there are reasons I don't sell it, but it does still work. My final thoughts on the Pixie disc applicator: yes, it does work. It can be easy-ish, but hands are going to be the easiest thing of all. And most importantly, make sure you can remove whatever you put into your body with an applicator. If you can insert something, make sure that you can remove it. The vaginal fornix is a dead end, but the road leading up to that could be quite long. You just want to make sure you can reach it. Well, I think that's it. I feel like I've covered it all. If you have any questions about this product, leave them in the comments. I will provide you a link to purchase this product as well, since I don't carry it at Period.Shop, and that will be a commission-based link. You can still support my educational content by a commission on the product, since we don't sell it at the store. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to Period Nirvana, because even though my periods are regular, my uploads are not. So if you want to know when the next video uploads, be a subscriber. Have a great one. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. I have the Pixie. Oh, how do I say this? Oh my God, it's in my eye. I was not expecting that in my eye. Hey Siri, can you get lubricant in your eyes?